And as we finish up here, what do we have? Let's talk about empathic mirroring. We have neural mechanisms that assist us in understanding others. At least it would appear so. And these mirror neurons that are located within the premotor and motor cortices. This is a fascinating area of research and study. They become active when performing the activity as well as watching someone else perform the activity. And certain neural observations, watching someone and doing it oneself is almost identical in brain displays, right? Empathy appears to be in the same area, in the same region, and Singer found that observing a partner's pain activates corresponding area of the brain, but only the part of the brain that's associated with the affective qualities of the pain, right? And the sensory qualities are not activated. So it appears that this empathic, our ability to empathize, to sympathize, to mirror, to mimic, is more limited to the conscious aspects of it. But there might be exceptions to that. Okay, let's look then at this largely non-conscious process of empathic mirroring. And I think one of the fascinating things to me is you can look at an infant, you can stick your tongue out, and the damn infant sticks their tongue back out at you. And I'm like, how do you know to do that? You're not looking in a mirror. How do you know you're even sticking out your tongue in response to sticking out my tongue? This is, a non-conscious process, right? So we could be non-consciously aware of a target's pupil size and modulated rate of intensity of perceived sad face but not a happy face. As pupil size decreased, rated intensity increased, right? Observer's pupil size mirrored target's pupil size. And notice that this is well out of our control. Most of us are not capable of manipulating our pupil size. So it could be useful in explaining the acquisition of maternal example and attachment, emotional development, acquisition of cultural moderators in emotional detection, expression, inhibition. So we can see the tremendous adaptive value in empathic mirroring. Now, infants tend to prefer faces over the stimulus objects when tested in the laboratory. This makes sense. This would be highly adaptive to be a strong attender to faces. Notice social referencing, empathic mirroring are all facilitated by that desire to observe faces. Idiosyncratic cultural expression of emotion are pre-linguistic. So when we start asking the question, if there's not a word for it, can we feel it? Note that certain feelings are pre-linguistic, so it complicates the answer to that question. The ventral mesial frontal cortex, the inhibitory component of the motivational system, seems to be tied to mother-infant interaction. So many of the behaviors that we acquire from mom in a standard, upbringing, right, that we learn to inhibit our behaviors as the result of mother's disapproval, so to speak. And that's where this system appears to mimic. Could be thought in the site that almost literally embodies an internalized mother, according to Schore, and that's a wacky concept. But when Freud's talking about an acquired superego, it doesn't seem a whole lot different in that regard. So, the Damasio somatic marker hypothesis then describes this neural system that integrates feelings, affect, and cognition in relation to social processes. So decision making is influenced by bioregulatory processes. It's combined with the results of monitoring the external social world. The somatic marker biases the decision made within the social context. And the ventral medial lesions result in impaired decision-making and flattened affect. So through learning, it's like we have this body loop, this somatic, how does this feel on my body, that's integrated with memory and causes me to learn to respond to different ways to my environment. So this body loop then facilitates our learning and our engagement of the world around us, according to Damasio. Now, the mental images, he means the mental pattern in any sensory modality. So it could be smell, it could be auditory, it could be visual, right? Any of those. Such images convey aspects of the physical characteristics of the object with which we're interacting and reactions like dislike or like. So we can become predisposed to like or dislike an object based on its similarity to previously encountered objects, right? So, and this is then again back to the associationism. When we look at Damasio, then we're not thinking machines that feel, rather we're feeling machines that think, is where he leaves us with that idea. And I'm going to leave us with that idea as well. So let us look in this strange world of emergent mushrooms in a houseplant and call it good for the day. Thank you, guys.